Monica's right. There's too much stuff in my way. There's cables and sandbags. I don't need more staffers. I need roadies, man. I mean, the White House already feels like we're backstage at a concert. We got people leaving bags of Coke around. So let's do this, man. Let's go full rock and roll, all right? Woo!
Off the duck's back, and I don't think we ought to get tangled up in,
China's not a dictatorship.
Names and whatever. What we ought to do is look at the heart of what we're trying to do.
The heart of what we're trying to do.
They're not doing diddly.
Oh, we know what you're trying to do.
They're building new coal plants.
You
like
and your pals have
2
made
a
it
week.
very clear.
Here, Freeland took his place at the table as our newest ally. Mr. Store in Norway. We've been in a great relationship, and Fredriksson of Denmark, and the Minister Yakoba, the daughter of Ireland, until that's a 40 stuff. I'm thinking of home. The daughter of Iceland.
Now, maybe Morning Joe says behind closed doors he's Winston Churchill, but the problem is, Laura, he can no longer speak with fluidity even on a teleprompter. How can he run a campaign like this?
Well, who isn't telling Joe Biden when he goes out in public, Joe, don't do these things? Shouldn't somebody remind him that this makes him look even worse in the eyes of the American people? And he continues showing to do it. He can't help himself. It's kind of sad.
I feel so sorry for that kid, but I won't even show the other tapes of other times he's sniffing young people's hair and touching them in a weird way, because I'm sure that parents don't want to see their kids on TV again and again.
And we brought Israelis and Palestinians together at a political level, and as I affirmed to Prime Minister.
And then the clapper goes, you're on.
Whoa, whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Put on the brakes. Put on the brakes. Welcome, welcome, boys and girls, children of all ages, hoofties, poofties, bong-eyed heifers, right and left wing wackos, woodchucks and chuckettes, kings and queens of the Northeast Kingdom, to another version of It's News to Us. And you are watching It's News to Us. Yes, thanks, Philo. In the booth we have Philo T. Farnsworth, College of Musical Knowledge. And you can see his drum videos on YouTube at Terry DeFazio. And so anyways, yep, that's who we are. Here we are. We're up here in the Northeast Kingdom, where it's full-time saturation, man. I swear to God, the water was friggin' bubbling down at the lake. The water was coming right up out of the manhole covers yesterday. I didn't think we were going to make it. But luckily today it's sunny and breezy out, so it's cool. Anyways, we cater to everybody here. We all welcome men, women, batwangers, whatever.
Orange scrapers.
Yeah, orange scrapers.
Rug munchers.
Zip ties. And here's the commander-in-chief. Oh, we got a good one. He's munching on some poor scared infant in Finland. And then he's talking, yesterday, day before, he was talking to the Israeli president, Herzog, and he's just in the White House, and he's like, it's just drifting off away. He's the cadaver-in-chief, man. And you remember when Trump did that coffee thing? Trump tweeted out something, he was half asleep, and instead of coffee, he typed out Kofevi. And they said, that's it. Look at his brain's gone. We're going to have to invoke the 23rd Amendment.
Well, did you see what Kamala Harris came out with?
Oh my God!
She wanted to say reduction of pollution, and she said reduction of population.
Oh yeah, they said that was a giveaway. That's what she meant to say.
Yeah, but you know what? That's a Freudian slip, and when that happens, you want to be careful.
Yeah, like Bill Gates. That's what we want to do. These vaccines are meant to,
reduce us. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And the state just settled last week with the EB5. This happened up here, the EB5 laundromat, and so that this, because of this settlement, no state officials will ever have to testify in court, Philo.
And that includes Shumlin, right?
Shumlin, all his cabinet people, everybody who was involved in this sticky-fingered whatever, and they went on field trips to China and Vietnam, all on it's crazy, man. And all we got left here in Newport is a smoking hole on Main Street.
Actually, that was a blessing because that building was going to go.
Yeah, really. That's
going to go on fire. That was bad.
Rat-infested block.
Oh yeah, squirrels, rats, snakes.
And here we are. I was just telling Philo this, because all you're seeing on the mainstream media is what they want to show you, and it's always the most outrageous stuff. They won't go for the real stuff, but there's if you go to DonaldJTrump.com/agenda47, you can see exactly his policies, what he's going to do and how he's going to do it. And another one of my favorites is Vivek Ramaswamy. The guy's brilliant. He's this entrepreneur, very successful guy. He's running too, just to get his name out there, which is a good thing, because hey, I'd really like to see him as our first millennial president. And the same thing with RFK. You can go on the web and find RFK Jr.'s policies also, because all the news media is saying, "Oh, he's crazy. He's just nuts, man. He's an anti-vaccine wacko." And
well, now the truth is coming out about all these vaccines. You see the one I showed you today. Actually, our station down in St. Johnsbury.
Yeah.
They've got a doctor who's been reporting on this all throughout this pandemic, and now they're talking about excessive deaths and improper reporting in the UK.
Oh man! Well, now Pfizer wiped out the control group. The lawsuits are flying now, man. If you go to Naomi Wolf's site, dailyclout.io, the lawsuits are flying because for fraudulent lawsuits, because what Pfizer did was they just instead of having a double-blind whatever study or whatever, they took people who had been vaccinated already and removed them from the control group, and it's nuts. It's just anyways. Oh no! Don't get me going.
Anyways, go to the interview I did yesterday.
Yeah.
Go to NEK-TV's website. The latest video on there is from Amy Hornblass. I interviewed her yesterday. She's going to tell you all about this mask business and how much medical problem it's caused.
Oh man, yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if it increased the rates of pneumonia cases.
And the state has all these mandates ready for the next one.
Oh yeah, well they ruined this poor guy's business. He had the UPS shipping thing or something down here on Main Street. Granted, he was obstinate and he was kind of a prickly character, but still, man, it wasn't a law. It was not a law to make you wear masks. It was just a recommendation. Yet they closed him down, and they went after prick and shove it here, and it's crazy.
Yeah, and then they wouldn't let his kid go to school.
Oh yeah, the teachers' unions, that worked out so great, and then they hogged all the vaccines in the beginning, and now look at them, man. Anyways, what do we got? Man? Oh, we're finding out more and more stuff, and of course, suddenly now the Democrats, the people who used to be skeptical of the FBI and CIA and everything, suddenly they're now on the side of law enforcement. Philo.
Well, that's the way it goes, you know.
Oh yeah, we're on the side of Big Brother. And
you know something, Steve? I got to take issue with that. They're now on the side of Big Sister.
Yeah. A weak sister.
Yeah.
A judge found 38 illegal queries per hour with the FBI. These are agents using the massive the database look up old girlfriends and neighbors and and stuff like that. 38 per hour, Philo.
Oh yeah.
Steve Friend, this whistleblower, when he went up, they got the IRS guys who were testifying this afternoon. Damn it! I wish we could have taped that on NEK. But I'll see the highlights tonight, I'm sure, on the War Room, www.warroom.org. They've got the IRS whistleblowers who said that Biden's were they're just ignoring money laundering and corruption. These are the dirtiest cockroaches that ever friggin' slithered into Washington, D.C., this whole pack of feral dogs. And did you see, talk about the cocaine, did you see the video from Hunter Biden on the Truman balcony on July 4th?
No, what happened?
Oh, man, it was, they're talking about finding that coke. You should see him and his sister. Him and his sister were running around the balcony all whooped up, and you can see Hunter, he's sweating like a pig, and he's wiping the sweat off his head.
Was she naked?
Yeah. And the look on Jill's face, she's just hanging on to Joe, and she's all like, Joe, take care of this stupid friggin' junkie kid of yours. And it goes on. They had the feed on for a while, man, and his sister too. They're all like bouncing around well, you've seen people all wired up, man. Do you know what?
Yeah, I've seen some that were pretty wired.
Yeah, like Ricochet Rabbit, man. Bing, bing, bing. You're all over the place.
Yeah, I know.
So anyways, this FBI agent, Steve Friend, who testified, and because he lost his job and his house and everything like that, he got a job. And Kash Patel, another Indian millennial, a great guy, former prosecutor, Kash Patel took him in, and the foundation gave him and his family money to live on. The Democrats are saying, oh, you're working for a right-wing outfit. And he's all like, no. But anyway, Steve Friend testified that he was removed from child porn cases, Philo, to surveil people at school board meetings. They had him at school board meetings getting the plate numbers of parents who were there to object to this tranny stuff.
Yeah.
Imagine that. So they've taken agents off of kiddie porn cases. It's crazy. And it turns out there have been over 250,000 illegal FISA searches since Biden got, since right before Biden turned into office. And speaking of kiddie porn, there's a movie out now called The Sound of Freedom.
I've heard about it, yeah.
Yeah, it's about that guy who's been rescuing kids. He used to work for the Department of Homeland Security, rescuing kids, until Biden got elected. And now that he's the chief kid head sniffer, he doesn't care about the kids anymore, it seems.
Well, they could have gotten rid of all this human trafficking if they hadn't put all their money into COVID.
Now they got. They admit that there's something like 68,000 kids Homeland Security has lost track of that have crossed the border. They're just given to people who weren't related to them or anything. You come up and you say you're a sponsor, and off you go with the kid, man. No problem. So this Sound of Freedom movie is at the box office, and it's kicking ass, man. It
is.
It's been beating Indiana Jones and the Dentures of Doom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, get this. Disney's last 5 movies have lost a lot of money. Hundreds of millions.
And did you see the Snow White, the latest one?
Yep. It's all wokeness, and they're losing money because of it.
I hope the market's gonna take care of this stuff eventually, because the American people don't want it. They don't want it.
But just remember this: it ain't just the Americans. Did you see who won the Miss Netherlands award or the Miss Denmark award?
Oh, a guy.
Yeah, and not even a pretty guy.
Oh man,
The girl who came in second was beautiful.
Unbelievable. Great. So we've not only got guys winning, we've got ugly guys winning.
Jeez.
Good grief, man. And the green screen, we've got Crispy, and somewhere the dogs are in here. And like I was telling Philo, I have to put Mac down. It's going to break my heart.
But at least it'll be a peaceful way to go.
Yeah, it's going to break my heart.
Oh, well, I know. Mac was always a lot of fun. We used to have a lot of fun with him in here.
He's wandering around aimlessly and bumping into things and whizzing in the house and lost control of his. It's just sad to see. And but there they are, Mac and Spike. And I've got the little nutcase girl left. She's crazy. Yeah, Indiana Jones and the Dentures of Doom. It's crazy. Yeah, it turns out there have been since 2021, Philo. They found that the FBI, there have been 3.39 million illegal FISA searches since 2021. That's up 300% from 2020. And the IRS agents were pulled from Hunter's case, they go after radical traditional Catholics. It's nuts, man. Oh, have you seen these commercials on TV for cat arthritis injections?
Cats?
Yeah. It's like if your cat isn't what it used to be, maybe it's got cat arthritis. And then you listen to it, and you can give the injection at home, and it's warning. It's all like, if you're pregnant or planning to become pregnant, you got to be real careful around this stuff and around the needles and everything else, man, because this is pretty dangerous stuff. And I'm thinking, wow.
I didn't realize this, but I was talking to my doctor, and do you remember back in the old days when we were growing up, when you got a shot of penicillin or something, they had to jab it really hard? Remember that? And now I know why. They were using the same needles over and over. They were just sterilizing them, but the needles got dull.
Yeah.
I'm saying to myself, what a crazy bunch of people.
Yeah, because they were glass. They would, they would sterilize them, like you said, but they were...
The needles were dull, so they had to jam them in there and harpoon you, actually.
Yeah.
Now I get a shot anywhere, I hardly feel it.
People rarely sharpened them. I had a set of an old glass set of needles. It was a plunger, and the body, the plunger, and then two needles that came with it. And I told my mom to hide it somewhere, and of course she forgot it where she hid it, and that was it, man. I searched the house. I couldn't find it after she died. Yeah, but the inflation, they're telling us over and over again how good the economy is, man.
Oh, bull crap.
It's just nuts.
Bull crap.
It's saying, it's doing really good. You just don't know it, man.
No, we don't.
Yeah, here it is, right here.
Because gas prices are going back up.
It's nuts. Slowing U.S. inflation eases pressure on households.
Oh,
Sure. This is by another Democratic hack named Christopher Ruggaber. Yeah.
What paper's that?
The Burlington paper, of course.
Of course.
Yep. And there he is right there. Yeah, see? Who are you going to believe? Us or your lying eyes? And what's this other one? Oh, yeah, well, they're going after Tommy Tuberville. Hey, screw him. Tuberville's holding up appointments, and good for him, man. And G7 pledges security deals with Ukraine. And here's Crypt Keeper Joe meets the new Castro, and Joe is saying, "I brought the coke," and Zelensky or 10%sky, he's saying, "I'll wash all your money," because that's all it is, man. The big Ukrainian money launderer in the sky. Yeah, this Tommy Tuberville article is by Mary Claire Delonic, another one. These same people write these stories about how wonderful everything is. Yeah. You're telling reporters in the Capitol that white nationalists are racist because they've been after them. Let's see. The definition of white nationalism is not a matter of opinion. Black nationalism, that's okay. That's okay. No problem. Yeah, G.I. Joe Zelensky. Everybody's wearing a suit and tie. You think that guy could? No, he's got to go out there looking like friggin' Fidel Castro, Philo.
Fidel Castro on crack, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, there's a great Vivek had a great thing. He said January 6th. He said when the government would not allow people to comment on the election, right? And there's Spiky right there. What they're doing now is they're going after the electors, Philo. They're going to try and charge them with fraud because they had an alternate slate of electors. They've always done that. They've always had alternates. Now, even Richard Nixon had alternates in Hawaii, and they wound up picking JFK's. There was only 3, but it was still... It's never been a crime until Biden says now it's a crime, and they're going to try and get him with fraud. Fraud is when you sign someone else's name or try and defraud people, you know. This is not fraud. These electors said who they were. They wrote their own names. This is crazy. It's anything to try and keep Trump off the ballot. But Vivek said when people are told they can't speak and you censor them, then they're going to scream. And that's what happened on January 6th. And get this. The Ukrainians are wasting 155 millimeter howitzer ammunition. They go through 30 days production, U.S. production, Philo, in 5 days. Mm-hmm. That's why they've depleted our stocks, and they're going to cluster bombs, which are insane, and they're banned. They're banned by most 150 countries have banned cluster munitions because they've got a bad dud rate, and there's Mackie right there.
Hey, Mac.
And they kill people, children, unintended people, not battlefield.
Well, you stated this a long time ago, and I confronted somebody at the church I used to attend. He was so proud of his military camouflage and dressing his whole family in camouflage. I said, you know what the military does? Oh, we protect the nation. I said, no, you kill people and you blow up things.
Yeah. And how are you protecting me against a bunch of goat ropers in Afghanistan? What are they going to do? Hop in their war canoes and paddle over here? And I mean, come on. We took care of the guys from 9/11 in the first 6 months of the Afghan war. That was the end of that.
And we ended up getting Osama bin Laden later on.
Yeah, they hid him out. The Pakistanis hid him. Yeah, so 5 days. They go through 30 days of our production in 5 days, and they want more, ever more. And, get this. In Biden's first year, we lost our audio, Philo.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, there it is. It's back now.
Yeah, I got a potentiometer on the one speaker that keeps messing up.
Oh, okay. There it goes.
I'm just trying to get it back. Yep.
In Biden's first year, he fired 5 staffers for using cannabis, Philo. Yet suddenly now, we've got a bag of blow. They won't even say how much. They find a bag of blow in the White House, and they're not even bothering.
And they thought it was anthrax.
Yeah, really.
Excuse me.
Unbelievable. Oh, and this ultra-rich guy, Reid Hoffman, supposedly just contributed $700,000 to Joe's campaign. And speaking of perverts, he's supposedly one of these pervs that's been on the flights to Epstein Island. I don't know how many times he was on the manifest. But, hey, he's a friend of Joe's, right?
Of course.
And the Russian oligarchs, they're finding out now, gave $100 million to Joe and Hunter. It wasn't just $3 million from the mayor's wife of Moscow. Now we're finding out it was $100 million.
Our mayor gave him $100 million?
Yeah.
Oh, wrong mayor. I'm sorry.
From the Russian oligarchs.
Not the Newport oligarchs.
No. I saw him down fishing off the bridge. Unbelievable. Yeah. Oh, and I'm watching this thing on I don't know. They throw in these History Channel every now and then on the satellite dish, right, for free. And I'm watching one. It was called World War I Apocalypse. Where they got this footage is beyond me, Philo.
Oh, yeah.
It was crazy. They scooped up. They got all this World War I footage, and then they colorized it, and then they added a soundtrack to it too, so you can hear like horse hoofs clopping and bombs going off. And it was crazy, man.
Do you have Dish or Direct?
Pardon me? Dish,
Do you have Dish?
And they were talking about the temperatures were the hottest ever. It was either in 1914 or 1915. The World War I apocalypse, man. Oh, yeah, and this is another thing they're talking about. Well, we don't want to get Trump in there. He's talking about getting rid of all these people that, that work for the government, the permanent state. These are the experts that we rely on, Philo.
Oh, sure, right.
Yeah. These people haven't shown up for work since the pandemic. You know how many office buildings in D.C. are empty because they're all working from home?
Hey, why bring them back? Leave them there.
Yeah, fire them.
Or fire them, yeah. Even better.
Yeah, it's too much. We don't need an expert class. They're unelected bureaucrats. I mean, do we really need more people like Fauci, Philo?
No, we didn't even need him for whatever it's worth.
Yeah, really. Guy he messed up everything. And supposedly he's still got a Secret Service detail or something.
He probably needs one.
Which only the president's supposed to get. And here we are. Zelensky criticizes NATO's plans, calls lack of timetable for membership absurd. Oh, and it's like 10%. He wants more and more. And every time you ask him, what do you want? It's like more. Well, it's like the Creedence Clearwater song. When you ask him how much should you give, their only answer is more.
Yep.
That's Fortunate Son, man. Look it up.
I used to like that song, but I could never understand what he was saying.
Yeah, well...
His diction was just crap.
Yeah.
Anyways, gang.
Zelensky blasted as absurd the absence of a timetable. The broadside could renew tensions at the summit shortly before they saw a burst of goodwill. It said, in addition, NATO would forego requiring a membership action plan. Oh, yeah. Great. And, however, the U.S. and Germany are urging caution. Biden said last week that Ukraine wasn't ready to join. Members of NATO need to meet all the qualifications, from democratization, a whole range of other issues. Concerns about governance and corruption in Kyiv. Well, they're the most corrupt. These guys taught the Russians how to be corrupt, man. And speaking of which, we've given something like $200 billion to the Ukraine so far, right?
Yeah.
We haven't got any inkling of where the money went, and yet check this out. Yet this article says IRS. 38 million collected from high-income tax dodgers. Wow, 38 million, Philo. That's like, I don't know. That's 1/8 of $1 billion, right? So we've given $200 billion to the Ukraine, and they're bragging about the IRS pulling in 38 million.
I'm surprised they got that much.
Yeah, really, it's nuts. And then right next to it is an article says Biden makes $20 billion available for clean energy projects. And over the weekend I was watching the Turning Point thing where they had Tucker Carlson. He just got back from destroying Mike Pence at the at this event last week in Iowa, right? And Mike Pence said, it's not my concern. And Tucker said, look at every major American city has gone downhill. There's crime, drugs, people are dying, defecating in the streets, and yet you want to send more money to the Ukraine? And Mike Pence says, it's not my concern. So anyways, Tucker was going on about the cocaine, the turning point thing. He was still going on about the cocaine. He says, well, that explains everything in the White House. I mean, think about it. How many times have you sat around with people who are high on coke and they're all like, I got a great idea. We're going to fundamentally reshape the whole American economy. We're going to get ourselves off of fossil fuels. We're gonna put drag queens in libraries. I'm telling you, it's gonna be great.
It was even more insane than a Saturday Night Live sketch.
Yeah, it would make a good SNL sketch, wouldn't it?
I bet it'll happen someday.
Yeah, really. Maybe we get a conservatives SNL sketch. Oh, it's crazy.
So what did Pence say about the cocaine in the White House? Anything?
Oh, he didn't ask him about the coke. Let's see. Poll, many pessimistic about democracy.
No kidding.
We're not pessimistic about democracy. We don't live in a democracy. We live in a democratic republic.
Just remember, we have a station over in Boylington that's the Center for Democracy.
Oh, of course. Another Grant-sucking chair warmer. Speaking of which, I was out emptying my rain gauge yesterday, right?
Yeah.
After I was tying up my tomatoes in the sunlight, I was out for an hour in the sunlight and got cooked. And here we are. There's some Grant-sucking chair warmers. They were going door to door. Now, I don't begrudge these girls. They were doing a good thing. And hey, they're making money and not working, so, God bless them. It's part of that Leahy money, man, where we're going to clean up the lake and, blah, blah, blah. This is a flyer. It's the North Troy Community Water Walk. Like, I guess people are too stupid to be able to walk down by the river unassisted, right, Philo?
I'm not even sure how to comment on that.
Explore public lands along the river. Well, you can go right into the town hall in Troy, ask Terry, the clerk, say, Terry, could you show me how much land is public here along the river? And she'll be more than happy to show you. And you can go down there and explore it at your own leisure. And what I would do, though, I would take a pistol along just in case, because there are wild animals down there, and I've seen bears down there, big ones too,
and a three-toed sloth.
Yeah, the three-toed sloths.
And a Mongolian wild mule.
This is going on July 25th at 5 p.m. Meet outside the Legion at the Legion Park on Dominion Ave. Now that's another place. There's an old road that goes down to a dump next to the river. But fortunately, they've let the dump grow over, so you can't tell it's a dump anymore. There used to be like a 49 Chevy and refrigerators and all this stuff they just dumped on the side of the river, Philo, right?
Wow.
Yeah. Learn more and register at our website at mrbavt.com. That's the Missisquoi River Basin Association, Philo. Wow. And they get grant money. I told you about the community garden they had down there one year.
Wasn't that around when Benson was alive?
Yeah. It was before Doc left. Yeah.
2007, 2008. There was a video somebody did too.
Yeah. And so anyways, they had this garden down there, and I figured, well, what the hell? I can use more garden space. So I got some popcorn, and I went down there and I planted, like 20 rows of popcorn. And Ann McKay, who started this with the former town clerk, called me up one day in September. She says, were you down in the garden picking your corn? And I'm all like, no,
My stupid clock. It goes off at 20 after.
Oh, yeah, that clock. So
I can't reset it. For some reason, it goes off at 20 after.
Yeah, good grief. It's made in China.
I'm not sure where this was made. I got it for $2 at a yard sale.
So I says, no, as a matter of fact, it's only September. I mean, the corn's got to grow for another month, maybe longer, you know. And so I went down there. She says, yeah, there was 2 guys down there in a white car, and they were picking the corn. I thought it was you. I'm all like, no. And so I said, well, they're going to get a surprise because, you know, when they take it home to like roast it on the grill, if they do, it's popcorn. It's made for popping. It's not made for eating. It's going to come out like friggin' cow corn, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, pessimistic about the economy. Oh, they're fighting over something that has nothing to do with the economy. The investigation of Biden's son. Hunter Biden, what does that have to do with us? Oh, I don't know. Has to do with them being, these people being crooks? Oh, and speaking of...
I am not a crook.
Yeah, I'm not a crook. Speaking of which, there's some violation of election laws. It just happened. It hit the news feed right before I came in about election laws in Michigan or something, and a couple other states. But, you know, that's okay, because if you say anything about the elections now, man, you're in trouble. Oh, here we are, too. Josh David Yurgo, 40 years old, Burlington, Vermont, Schenectady, New York. Josh lost his long struggle with addiction on Sunday, July 2nd, 2023. Unbelievable. He was an avid gamer and a talented guitarist. Another one. We lost another one, man. It's crazy. And there's other people in their 60s. I wonder how many of them were vaccinated, Philo. But, you know, what was it, 20-something years old, dead, because Biden won't close up the border, man. Here we are. Black luck.
I thought it was funny that everybody had to wear a mask except those people coming across the border. Isn't that good?
Yeah, or if you wanted to enter the country, you had to be vaccinated, unless you were an illegal coming across the Rio Grande.
Yeah. Well, they don't. They're immune to the disease. They won't get it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, they swam through the river, so that's, you know.
They've got their own immunity.
Yeah, God knows what's in the Rio Grande, man.
Well, remember what George Carlin said? He said, growing up, we swam in the Hudson River.
Yeah.
What's there? Raw sewage, and we never got sick.
Yeah. Black Lives Matter marks milestone.
Yay!
10th anniversary renews call for racial justice fight. This is from Aaron Morrison. BLM has hit a milestone, 10 years since its 2013 founding in response to Trayvon Martin. Yada, yada, yada. The activists are planning to mark a decade of the movement with in-person and virtual events. Calls to action include a renewed push to defund police departments and reinvest in black communities that have suffered disproportionately from police brutality, unequal treatment in criminal justice systems, and mass incarceration. Well, you know what? I'm going to we should mass incarcerate your ass, because if you do violent crime and beat up your fellow citizens and shoot them and stab them, then yeah, we should take your black mass, your white mass, or any other mass, and mass incarcerate your asses.
Well, you know, look at what they did. What was it, Nicaragua?
Oh, El Salvador, yeah.
Salvador, I'm sorry.
With the gangs. With the gangs.
They said MS-13, you're just going to prison. That's it. And their violent crime rate went right down. Right down.
Yeah. Well, plus half of them moved up here.
Yeah, a bunch of them are up here. That's true.
Surveys, students suffer with mental health. Well, geez, I can't understand why you're telling them since kindergarten that the world is doomed and the world's going to end. That the country is a horrible country. It's full of racists.
And they're all white.
Yeah, it's all white, and I can't understand why the kids are all bummed out, Philo.
And now they don't even know what gender they are.
Oh, yeah.
You're really not a boy. Oh, no, forget it. You really aren't a boy.
Are you a boy or are you a girl?
Jeez, that was a tongue-in-cheek song, remember? Because that's part of your music.
Yeah, Philo's putting that on. New song this week. And here we are. Kerry meets with Chinese officials.
Uh-oh.
He's over there groveling on all fours, man.
Hey, grovel.
Yeah. Grovel. It says, Lurch loses again. The Chinese laugh at his bad plastic surgery. He's a supplicant with delusions of grandeur. And listen to the mealy-mouthed crap that comes out of this guy's face, man. Kerry, he's just, I don't have any private jets. That was my wife's ex-husband's private jet. My second wife's dead husband's ex-private, whatever. Kerry told China's top diplomat that Biden's very committed to stabilizing relations and wants to restart high-level contacts. He's talking with the head of foreign relations, Wang Yi, telling him Biden hoped the two countries could achieve efforts together and make a significant difference to the world. Yeah, right. They take all our jobs, they pollute the atmosphere, and we have to suffer under this green crap deal. That's the way it's going. Sometimes small problems can become a big problem, Wang said, adding that dialogue must be conducted on an equal basis.
Oh, a dialogue. It used to be a conversation.
Oh, no, we have dialogue. It's too hard for us to say conversation.
Yeah, I can't say conversation.
We keep saying constipation. And Kerry, man, look, all you got to do is look at the guy and he can see, sooner or later, you can have plastic surgery and some nips and tucks and this and that, but sooner or later you're going to get old. And the plastic surgery does not age well with people.
You look at Joan Rivers.
Yeah, really. Coinciding with Kerry's visit. Oh my
gosh, don't get me started on that one.
Henry Kissinger arrived in Peking to meet with Defense Minister Li Shangfu. Li Shangfu praised the role of 100-year-old Kissinger played in opening up China, but he said that bilateral ties had hit a low point because some people on American side are not willing to meet China halfway.
What is Kissinger doing representing us?
Exactly. And what are these fools over there doing? They're putting on their knee pads and with the Chinese. That's right. The Chinese gave Hunter Biden $1 billion to play with, plus millions to him and the big guy too. We're finding that out soon enough, man. It's blah blah blah. China broke off some mid and high-level contacts last August when Nazi Pelosi went to Taiwan. Contacts have only slowly been restored. China continues to refuse to restart dialogue between a People's Liberation Army and the U.S. Department of Defense. Why should our Department of Defense have dialogue with their commie People's Army? Why? It's crazy. Kerry is the third senior Biden administration to travel to China, following Secretary of State Blinken and Secretary Janet Yellen. Yeah, who was over there bowing, bow, 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 bow. Kerry said he approached the opportunity to change our relationship for the better, and that Biden is very committed to stability within this relationship and also to achieve efforts together that can make a significant difference to the world. Again, with the delusions of grandeur. He must be sniffing on that same bag of Coke. Biden values his relationship with President Xi Jinping. I think President Xi values his relationship with Biden, and I know he looks forward to being able to move forward to change the dynamic. What does that mean?
It's lawyers speak for I don't know what I'm talking about and I want to baffle you.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't have an answer, so I'll make up something that sounds good.
Let's see. Kerry later paid a courtesy call to newly appointed Premier Li Qiang, the party's number 2 official, who told him China and U.S. should cooperate more closely on extremely large challenges posed by a global warming. Kerry responded that working and showing the rest of the world how we can cooperate and begin to address this with the urgency it requires is incredible. It's incredible, Philo.
Oh, absolutely. I agree, yeah.
Didn't I tell you it was incredible?
Yeah.
Like it has no credibility.
Yeah. It's in or is out.
He pointed out that the past agreements on reducing the output of methane and transitioning away from coal as a power source and addressing deforestation. Now, I can't tell you for sure, but you know and I know that things are changing and predictions are much more serious than they've ever been.
Oh, boy. That sounds serious to me.
Yeah. And I'm sure that's going to make China shut down their 2 new coal plants every week, Philo.
They should be shaking in their rice, huh?
Oh, yeah. They've been buying up friggin' half of Australia's coal, more than half. Oh, it's crazy. No meeting has been announced with Xi Jinping, and China's foreign minister, Qin Kang, has been absent from public sight for 3 weeks. 3 weeks, man. Sounds like he was been a bad boy.
Yep.
There's no immediate comment on Kerry's Monday meeting with his counterpart, Xi Jinping, in the first extensive face-to-face climate discussions between representatives of the world's 2 worst climate polluters after a nearly year-long hiatus. No, the 2 worst polluters. The 2 worst polluters, Philo, are China and India.
That's right.
Unbelievable. There's no immediate comment on Kerry's meeting. China leads the world in producing and consuming coal and has proceeded with building new plants, like I said, 2 a week, that add tons of carbon dioxide to the atmosphere while expanding the use of renewables such as solar and wind power. No, they're using the coal to build solar panels and windmills to sell to saps like us that are going to come flying apart. China has pledged to level off CO2 emissions by 2030 and to become carbon neutral by 2060. The U.S. and EU have urged China to adopt more ambitious reduction targets. U.S. lawmakers have faulted China for refusing to make bigger cuts in emissions, along with the country's insistence that it is still a developing economy and produces far less pollution per capita and should be exempted from the climate standards adopted by developed Western economies. Yeah, see? So they're exempt. They say it right here in the very last paragraph. We Chinese, we're exempt. You pay, Joe. You pick up a tab, okay?
Oh, that's reasonable.
Yeah, sure. See, because we're still developing. You already developed, so you can go screw yourself.
Yes, just look at Detroit. We'll show you development.
Yeah, Baltimore.
Oh, geez, yeah, I know. And I like their football team, and that whole city is crap now.
Oh, man, yeah. What do we got in the Epic Times? Let's see. This is unbelievable. The censorship. We're finding out stuff now about these people are the biggest fascists. I never thought I would see fascism. It's like insane, and they're all cool with it. Time for parents to fight back, says Elon Musk. Oh, Nikki Haley has raised $34 million. That witch. She's the wicked witch of the West, man.
Hey, what are you going to do?
Yeah, unbelievable. Oh, yeah. World leaders turn against Biden for giving Ukraine cluster munitions. Unbelievable. And anyways, in the verdict, too, this is some good stuff here. They've been after. Judicial Watch sues FBI for records on the Hunter Biden gun scandal. See, they're ready to give Hunter a sweetheart deal, and they haven't even produced any of the documents, Philo.
Yep.
They're all still secret. I wonder why. They're suing the DHS for records on censorship meetings with big tech. Records and communications. They hosted industry meetings with Facebook, Twitter, Wikimedia, Pinterest, LinkedIn. It's insane. On December 2, 2022, journalist Matt Taibbi used Twitter to expose the Twitter files. And that we know of course, that didn't make the news either. Reports also came from different agencies. Here, an employee recommends bouncing content based on evidence from DHS and etc. Oh, sure. You just you tell us what you want bounced, and we'll bounce it. Boom, it'll be gone. No problem. And it's Elvis, man. In July 2020, San Fran FBI agent Elvis Chan tells Twitter, I'm a hunka burn and walk. Walk and roll.
It was
Elvis
like that
Chan.
referee for the MMA, Mario Yamamoto or something like that. Yamaguchi or something like that. Anyways, go ahead.
Let's see. Tells Twitter exec Yoel Roth to expect written questions from the task force, the interagency group that deals with cyber threats. And it goes on.
Okay, last but not least, Steve.
Oh my God, last but not least. Let's see. Oh, and there's so much stuff here. Chinese
running out of time, Steve.
All right. Yeah, Judicial Watch sues for records about intimidation of Supreme Court justices, because that's okay. Yeah, they're only conservative justices. Well, once again, you wasted a perfect look at every life watching this stupid show, so hopefully we'll see you again next week, inshallah. Good Lord willing, the creek don't rise, as the Hebrews say. And until then, get down on your hands and knees in the men-only mosque, snip the bum of the guy and the man dressed in front of you, head east and worship the rock in Mecca, and go, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Snakbar, Allahu Open Bar, Akbar.
And of course, a happy Deus Magnus Est to everyone.
Hey, Mika's right. There's too much stuff in my way. There's cables and sandbags. I don't need more staffers. I need roadies, man. I mean, the White House already feels like we're backstage at a concert. We got people leaving bags of Coke around. So let's do this, man. Let's go full rock and roll, all right? Woo!
The duck's back, and I don't think we ought to get tangled up in
China's not a dictatorship.
Names and whatever. What we ought to do is look at the heart of what we're trying to do.
The heart of what we're trying to do.
They're not doing diddly.
Oh, we know what you're trying to do.
They're building new
right.
coal plants,
You
like
and your pals have
2
made
a
it
week.
very clear.
Here, Freeland took his place at the table as our newest ally. Minister Store in Norway. We've had a great relationship, and Fredriksson of Denmark, and the Minister Jakoba, the daughter of Ireland. Until that's the 40th stuff, I'm thinking of home. The daughter of Iceland.
Now, maybe Morning Joe says behind closed doors he's Winston Churchill, but the problem is, Laura, he can no longer speak with fluidity even on a teleprompter. How can you run a campaign like this?
Who isn't telling Joe Biden when he goes out in public, Joe, don't do these things? Shouldn't somebody remind him that this makes him look even worse in the eyes of the American people? And he continues showing it to do it. He can't help himself. It's kind of sad.
I feel so sorry for that kid, but I won't even show the other tapes of other times he's sniffing young people's hair and touching them in a weird way, because I'm sure that parents don't want to see their kids on TV again and again.
And we brought Israelis and Palestinians together at a political level, and as I affirmed to Prime Minister